Marvel's Eyes of Wakanda is a beautiful 4-part anthology series that Marvel sort of released out of nowhere. Now, originally I thought, oh, this is just going to be one story, just to give a bit of backstory, just be a bit of fun. And in reality, as much as it was that, you also have the final episode piece everything back together and have everything linked together. It reminded me a lot of Predator Killer of Killers, right? Where you have this person's story, this person's story, this person's story, and then everything wraps up at the end. It's rather similarly done, but rather than having it in a film, you've got it in a TV show aspect. I really enjoyed the animation. I think that one of the beauties of doing animated series is the fact that you can produce these episodes not necessarily quickly, but they can be short, sharp, and effective. And this is exactly it. I think you can really sink your eyes into each one, and you don't have to focus necessarily too hard on, oh, I must pick up on all these tiny details. It's not like, other Disney Plus series where it's really complicated story. It's a really easy storyline to get behind. You learn a lot more about the history of Wakanda, and then it links really nicely to the live action versions at the very, very end. I won't tell you how, because just so you can enjoy it if you haven't watched it already, but for those who have, it's just such a nice little Easter egg right at the end that really ties everything back together, and also brings the reason as to why you've been watching this entire time. But honestly, I think Marvel need to do more stuff like this. I know they've got the Marvel Zombies coming out soon. I hope it's done very similarly, where you end up just having this own standalone stories that don't necessarily have to affect the larger MCU. I think it will give people more to enjoy. My Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, that was a series I thoroughly enjoyed. Now, yes, you can have some series that are more for adults, more for kids, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that Marvel can produce this mass amount of content, but you have a lot to consume, but it shouldn't be necessary to consume everything. And the additions of stuff like Eyes of Wakanda is perfect for that, in terms of giving Marvel fans like myself, who happens to not be watching a lot at the moment, something to watch. But it also means that if you're a Marvel fan who is like, oh, I'm not that bothered, you don't have to watch it before we get into something like Doomsday. It's really nice addition. Really, really enjoyed it. If you want something casually to watch, this is a great series for you. Honestly, it lovely addition to the Marvel, not the MCU, but Marvel in general.